more, right? Because I think at the end of the day, Web3 is here to stay. I'm 100% Web3 is here to stay. If not, I would cut my dick off, right? I think this is definitely here to stay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
GM, guys.
GM.
Welcome to the GM show. If you're new to the show, I'm going to say the ABCs again. It's Asia-focused, builder-friendly, and cool vibes, only powered by Memeland, the home of captains, potatoes, MVPs, and Stakeland. If you don't know what Stakeland is, I suggest you to check it out. And my name is Karen. I'm your co-host and also head of social for Memeland. Hey, Casey.
Remember, Karen, every episode could be someone's first GM show episode. So they don't know what ABCs are. So we got to give it to them every week. And we are counting down to our 1-year anniversary. I'm not sure how many more episodes there are to it, but we know that it's coming up soon. And, we've come a long way since the beginning with all the feedback and the audio feedback, not the feedback from the audience, but the audio feedback. It's been a learning experience. And now I think we've got it pretty down pat, and we're very excited about it. We're bringing this show to you live from Hong Kong. Karen and I are based here, and we love talking to founders of Web3 projects. And that's what we do every week here on the GM show. And basically, we just want to know more about them, how they build, what they do, how they do it, and hope to inspire the next generation of Web3 builders.
Yeah, if you have any builders that you want to know more about or projects that you want to know, please let us know who these people are, and then we'll bring them on the show. If you're excited to be here, show off some emoji love. We're live on X, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can see our faces on these platforms, but you can also go on the audio only version on X Spaces, so you don't have to see us. But yeah, there are different ways to enjoy the show.
People love to see us, Karen. Come on. We see the numbers. We know people are watching us more than listening to us, but we're just giving you that special option. Before we jump into this episode, let's hear a quick word from our chairman.
What is discussed on the GM show is not investment advice. We may or may not have ownership interests in the projects we are talking about, but this is not investment advice in any way, shape, or form. And this is not Sir David Attenborough.
As we get into Memecoin world, that introduction is more and more relevant than ever before. I think as people, more of the guests are coming on nowadays are talking more about meme coins as we move into this kind of new generation of what's happening in Web3. Today's guest, we're going to be talking about something called BorpaToken. All right, this thing is, I went to the website, I looked at it. It's very cute. You know what, let me bring it up because it's hard to explain exactly what it is without actually seeing it.
It's a meme.
This is what it is. It's a meme. Yeah, it's a meme. It's like any other weird meme that you see on the internet. They've got these squishy bodies. They've got big eyes. They're called the Borpas. They're living together in a universe. An evil force has decided to disrupt the ambient harmony and separate the Borpas into two distinct realms. All right, so we got the Cro-Magnons, which are these, I guess, simple ones here, right? Little green guys. They look pretty neat.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not sure what these are about, but I'm sure our guests will tell us more about it. And they have these futuristic ones, right? Well, I guess they're robot parts. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, but the BorpaToken is a result of a unique fusion between crypto nerds and schizophrenic mix of artists. That sounds about right? They team up with Entangle to handle the technical aspects of Borpa with 9 full-time engineers and 6 artists. They believe meme coins are the new NFTs, and they have a total supply of 1 billion Borpa tokens. 51% of these tokens are up for grabs through their unique financial game. They are billing BorpaToken as the next generation meme coin. Karen, who's our guest today?
So this guest is super interesting. I think this is going to be the best bio I've ever saw or written. He is an early DeFi native, started the crypto journey back in 2017 by buying some weed on the internet and realized the currency to use on the dark net was Bitcoin. And he went down the rabbit hole after seeing the Bitcoin doubled in price and joined a French crypto community on Discord. He had a negative 90% down draw in 2019 after chasing the new speculative assets and got burned hard, and then learned his mistakes and started a community called Block Hub, invested in various projects, and then started a DAO investing in about 9 projects with assets of $1.5 million. He learned that the 2 main aspects of the industry that attract people are speculation and culture, and that is why he created a meme coin project. Borpa, what a crazy ride. Welcome to the GM show, the founder of BorpaToken's Psychonaut. Hello.
Yes, hello guys. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
This is a great intro, and I think like a lot of people would love to know more about you and the project. Welcome to the show.
No, it's cool. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a long journey in crypto, and I always try to understand what is the what brings so many people into the space. I made a lot of investment. I made a lot of mistake, obviously, and I just want to give back, to the community, to the people. And this is why, I decided to create something. It's easy to be on Discord and to talk and to criticize projects, but it's better to do something, So this was the idea.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome.
And you're from Australia, is that right? Just
No.
kidding. Obviously not.
Yeah, I'm from France. Yeah, I'm from France. Yes,
All right.
also.
Okay, so what we're going to do as usual is we ask the same 20 questions to each week's guest to get some insight into their day-to-day life. What inspires them? What lessons can they pass on to the next generation building a Web3? So this gives a little insight into you and what you're building. And Karen, what's the first question?
Yeah, let's get into it. The first warm-up question is, what is the one app you have on your phone that not many people do?
Yeah, so I've seen the question before, and this one was a bit complex, because I'm a normal person, I don't have a lot of crazy application. I would say, maybe the one for making some sports. I have an application, that make me some, like a routine when you come to sports. But like most people also, I never do it. So yeah, it's a bit sad,
All right.
I know I have to do it, I receive notification every day, but yeah, sadly, I don't have it in my routine.
It's
I
just
think I have that too. I have a lot of notifications. I think they should zap you or buzz you a little harder so that you do something about it, because just seeing notification, people just ignore it now.
an electric shock.
Electric shock, exactly. Something like that, a little bit more severe. Okay, next question. What is the book you've given most as a gift and why?
Now I'm laughing because, again, it's a question that is difficult. I don't have offered a lot of books, sadly. I'm not a big book reader. I don't even read a lot of books myself. The only book I gave to someone was to my best friend. It was few years ago, and I gifted him the story of Vitalik Buterin. It was a book made by Camila. I don't remember her last name, but it was a book about the history of Ethereum and how they created it with Charles Kinson and a lot of different people, a lot of different nerds. And I think this culture of how it was created was very interesting. It was some insight into Vitalik's mind and the different directions they have decided to go for.
Awesome. Cool. So next question is, what is something that has greatly influenced your life? Could be a person in your life, a movie, something like that.
Yeah, when it comes to this question, one thing that I like to do, and like again, I'm supposed to do some sport, but I don't really do it. Rather, like I listen to a lot of music, and music has really influenced my life. My father was a big Pink Floyd fan. He liked, progressive rock. He listened to a lot of classical music. So when it comes to me, I would say music really influenced my life. I am a big fan of The Doors. I don't know if you guys know them, with Jim Morrison, if he tell you something. And then, yeah, I was trying to stay curious, and I think music really opened me a lot of doors when it comes to creativity and when it comes to self-expression. So, yeah, I have a lot of different artists that play a big role in my life. I'm not an artist person, but I try to be, and I try to stay open-minded. So, yeah, I would say maybe The Doors, maybe James Brown, maybe even Daft Punk. A lot of different great bands that made a big impact into the music history.
Jim Morrison, didn't he die in Paris?
Yeah, he died in Paris. Yeah, he died of an overdose. It's a very weird story. There is a lot of conspiracy about it, but like he considered himself as a poet, and a lot of poet people like to live in Paris back in the days. It was a place for a lot of artists. So yeah, sadly, like it's the only thing I share in common with Jim Morrison.
You look very young to be a Doors fan, but that's cool that you are.
No, it's a very good band. Like I like classic bands. I don't listen to a lot of modern music. Like recently there was a beef with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I know your audience will probably be angry about it, but I never listen to Drake. I never listen to Kendrick Lamar. I only listen to very old groups, and The Doors is a very interesting group.
All right. Okay, cool. Next question. Besides your smartphone, what is the one gadget or product in your life that makes it better?
Again, this was a difficult question. I will say it's my chair, It might sound weird, but it's very important to have a nice chair, and I bought one recently, and it really improved my life. Because obviously I stay most of my day in front of the computer. I don't really go out a lot, I don't really take the sun a lot because, when you're in a project, you become obsessed with it and you continue to do your stuff, and you don't really have time for anything else. So yeah, having a great chair is, I would say, guys, if you are like me, if you stay in front of your computer all day, it's definitely a great investment, to put some money into a great chair that you are comfortable.
What brand chair do you have?
Yeah, I bought Herman Miller. Maybe you know about it.
Sure.
Yeah, basically, I'm a bit of a lazy person. I just type on Reddit, what is the best chair to buy? And everybody say Herman Miller, and then I look
Herman
the price.
Miller is good.
Yeah, a very expensive chair, but I have this American mentality. If it's expensive, maybe it's good. It's supposed to be good. So
that's a French thing too.
Yeah, maybe yeah. So,
That's a great investment, actually.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, because I'm young. I'm 24 years old, and I'm already starting to feel some pain. So it's not good. So that's why it's important to
that pain is something we all shared.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into the personal stuff. What was an early job you had that you learned an important lesson from?
Yeah. Again, when it comes to my life, I don't know if it's a chance or a curse, but I didn't really add a lot of job experience. In France, it's obligatory, when you're a specific age to do 1 week in a job. So I was working as a commissaire priseur. I don't really know how to say it, in English. It's someone that sell items, at the auction house. This was a great experience, and this was very good because, I live in a small city in France, and it's very small auctions, and you have to go. Someone dies, there is an heritage, and then they they resell the items. So then you have to come, you have to analyze everything, you have to put a price on something, but you have to learn about the history. You have to talk with the family because it holds a lot of memories. Most of the objects. So this was a very interesting job that the first one that I had. Second one that I had and that I have a great lesson about it is I worked in crypto for like internship when I was doing my studies. I don't know if I can say the names, if it's okay to say names. Okay, yeah, I work at Jarvis Network, which is like a synthetic stablecoin. It's a French guy that created this in Bulgaria. So I went there and I met the startup world, and the important lesson that I learned from it is that I don't like it.
Hey, that's a good important lesson too.
Yeah.
Figuring out what you don't like.
No, I think it's like I always been some kind of a learner, and I like to make my own route. And when it comes to startup, it can either be like a very great experience or very bad experience, because obviously there is a lot of ego clashing, and me, because I like to believe I'm a free thinker. I like to think by myself, and I don't like when someone push me in a specific direction that I know is not the right one. So I would say important lesson. Maybe work in an environment that you like, but I don't have any advice to give, like, again, I'm very young, it's supposed to be people that give me advice, not the opposite, so.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
All right, next question. What does a normal day look like for you? What's your daily routine? You're staying inside most of the day, so how much time do you spend sleeping? How much time do you spend in the chair? Do you get out? You get notifications for doing exercise, which you don't do. So I want to know, what is a normal, typical day for you?
Yeah, like it's I guess it's like most people, nothing really crazy. I wake up in the morning, like I mean, the thing is that I prepare my day the day before. I have like a book next to me, and I put a to-do list, all the things that I have to do. So I end the day this way, and my head is very clear because I know what I have to do for the next day. Then I just wake up, I answer 100 and 100 of message because in this moment everybody's harassing me, which is a good sign, but very stressing and very tiring. And yeah, I just stay in my room. I just walk. I just do my to-do list. Then I go to calls. I just try to make things advance. And yeah, like days they fly, and even the weekend, like I'm always very, very busy, or always need to take some advance. And I think this is very important as a founder, as someone that walk into something, to be well organized. So I try my best to be well organized.
Sounds great. Actually, that's a good tip, like to plan your day before ahead of time. All right. What is an unusual habit that you have that you can share with us?
Again, this question, I don't really know what to answer, like, because I'm a very normal person, I don't have anything unusual, I guess. To be honest, I didn't know what to say to this question. Like, I play video games, I listen to music, I watch movies, but like everybody else, I don't have anything unusual anything crispy to tell you about, I'm sorry about it.
We were trying to like just get like something interesting out of everybody, but no worries. Let's go to the other question.
What you may find normal in France is not normal for the rest of the world, but that's okay, because we'd have to meet you and then we'll tell you, hey, you dip your French fries in mayonnaise or something. That's unusual.
No, I never been to the US. It's a country that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I never really been to the US. I've been to Asia a lot. I really like Asia. The culture of street food, taking the scooter, going to the beach, taking the sun. In America, my parents went a few weeks ago. They went to Florida, if I'm not mistaken. They went to Miami Beach, and it's a very small part of America. Like America is gigantic, so obviously, like I cannot talk about the whole America, but in Miami, the thing that they told me was very weird is that you guys don't have any streets. You have streets, but people use them to walk and go to the cafe, or walk and go to the to work. In France, we have a lot people just like to walk into the into the streets, talk into the streets. We have a lot of markets. We have a lot of cafe on the streets. in America, it seems that all you guys design your city in order to be efficient, in order to do some business, you know. So I will say this will be a big difference with France, because in France, you know, working is a bit taboo in a way. We have this culture of, you know, like syndicat. I don't know what to say in English. You know, where we have some representative of everything. You know, when it comes to the workers, when it comes to the business owners. So in France, we like to complain about everything, and the number one aspect that we like to complain is work. And in America, work is very different. You know, it's like a reason to live. You know. I mean, I don't know. You guys are maybe American. I don't know where you're from, but I guess this will be like something different from France compared to America. We like to take our time, and we like to, you know, we have words for it, flâner, you know, which is walking without purpose on the streets. I don't know if this aspect exists really in America, but maybe it's just because of Miami, you know, because Miami is a very business-oriented city.
Yeah. Neither of us are American, and so it's okay. You can make fun of them all you like on the show.
Yeah, but
we don't care.
They listen to us, you know. They will say some bad stuff after.
They're crazy. Yeah. I just came back from America. They're definitely crazy over there. All right. Let's go to the next question. This one's interesting. You said you're only 24 years old, so that means the pandemic you were like 20. But almost every belief, behavior, or habit is new to you. But is there anything that you're doing recently now that you are so heads down building a new crypto business that maybe you don't do normally before? That is something that improves your life. Besides disregarding notifications on your phone, like there must be something else that you do that helps you your day-to-day life.
Yeah. So when it comes to the you know, being productive as a person, you know, like again, I've been starting to work on Borpa for about a year, but I've been working on crypto for about 7 years. And when I say working, it's not just buying some Bitcoin and just you know, laying back. I you know, like I know directed different communities, and I passed like 10 hours a day on Discord. You know, it was all my life, you know, like trying to understand the new meta of the day, trying to understand the new DeFi primitive that came into the market. And one thing in crypto that is very important, you know, if you want to make crypto your life, you have to be very well organized, because you know, it works with cycles. On a bullish cycle, there is so many things to do, so many new projects that came to life, so many new opportunities to learn about something. And if you're not well organized, if you don't write on a paper, read this, invest in that, talk to this person about something, in the end of the day, you will just stay on Discord sharing some emotes, and you know, your day will pass very, very fast, and you have done nothing really productive. So one aspect that really improved my life was having a book that I have next to me that is a bit destroyed. But I write everything. I try to write everything. I know a lot of people, they use Notion, you know, they try to organize their life in a very, very strict way, you know, to make everything very pretty, with bold, with some colors, with some, you know, like, and they lose a lot of time doing that. So I advise people to just be organized if you want to work in crypto, and just take a book and a pen. You know, it works. You don't need to go Notion. You don't need to use 10 different applications to you know, to direct your life. Just get a book and just to start to write things down, the things that you want to be done. And yeah. But then on a more personal level, again, this is one aspect that I really like is like traveling. It's very hard when I'm obsessed about something to think about something else. I have a personality that work with obsessions. So when I'm obsessed with something, it's hard for me to disconnect. But one aspect that is very cool is traveling. And I advise every people that listen to us to, you know, to take a friend of their own, to take someone from their family, maybe their girlfriend or whatever, and just to take a trip, you know, to take a trip to Asia, because it's the only place I went, wherever you want, you know, but it's very, very cool experience. Yeah.
Great. Where in Asia did you go?
I went to Bali, you know, which is in Indonesia, but most importantly, I went to Thailand, and this is my favorite place. Yeah. I just went to Phuket, which is like an island in Thailand. it has a bad reputation because a lot of people like to gather to go to party and to go crazy. But when it comes to me, I went to the south of Phuket. The name is Rawai, and it's a very, very beautiful place. And I found freedom this way. It was one of the moments where I can put my mind into the calm and just enjoy my day without thinking too much.
Great. When you feel overwhelmed, I guess like in 7 years in crypto, that's for sure. There's a moment where you're feeling overwhelmed. What do you do and how do you relax?
Yeah, again, this is a question that I have no answer. I don't know. When I'm overwhelmed, I'm very overwhelmed. I'm very stressed. So if you guys have any answer about it, any advice to give me, I would gladly take it. I watch YouTube videos. Most people, I don't think I have ADHD. I think yeah. A lot of people in crypto have very fast mind. They cannot stop to think about something. I'm one of these person, and one way for me to disconnect is being hypnotized by YouTube, being hypnotized by TikTok. I don't know if it makes me relaxed, but at least I don't think too much, and I'm just being hypnotized by it. I know the founders of this application regret it. They made some TED talk, and they say sorry to humanity from doing that. It's a way for me to relax. I don't have anything crazy. I don't have any answer about it.
I wonder if your generation will start meditating at an earlier age than our generation, because most of the founders that come on who are older than you, meditation is one of the things that they do. And it's not like crazy, meditation. It's just basically 5-10 minutes closing their eyes and just like trying to get all the energy or all the thoughts just out of their mind. It's kind of like a reset on things. I don't know if your generation, are you Gen Z because you're so young, but will that generation start doing these things? Because, our generation didn't do it until we're much later. And I'm thinking if you guys start now, maybe it'll get you not so ADHD. I don't know. What do you think?
No, it's a very great insight. Meditation is very, very good. There's been a lot of studies about it, and as you said, our generation is connected to internet, so we have access to information very, very fast, and we developed a very pragmatic kind of view of the world. And by being pragmatic, that meditation is good. So especially me, that I listen to the Doors. They were very much inspired by Indian meditation, transcendental meditation. So I know it's good. I know it's a good way, to a lot of thought into your head, and it's a good way to flow like a river. I don't really know how to express it. But the problem with the young generation, we know it's good, but it's very complicated to put it into a routine because, again, of social media, because, again, of all the technologies that we have. It's very hard for us, to be organized. We know sport is good, we know meditation is good, but it's very hard for me, to respect and to do every day, and to integrate it into my routine.
Okay, interesting. Well, we'll see what happens when we talk to you next year. Maybe you're like full on transcendental meditation dude. I got like long hair and a beard. Okay, next question. What is one failure you've experienced and how did you overcome it? Maybe at a job, maybe at a personal level. What's something that you've learned from failing at?
Yeah, when I started BorpaToken, I had this idea of if you work with someone and if you propose him a lot of money, he will do some better work. For example, I had this kind of very naive and very pragmatic point of view that if I pay you $2,000 and if I pay you $20,000, with $20,000 you will make a way better work, because you will have better financial incentive to do so. I was clearly wrong. I partnered with a lot of different people, and it was very, very difficult for me to find the right partner. So this is more on not really on personal level, but more on a professional level. When you create something, it's not about when you cannot create alone. Let's say you need to be working with someone else. You need to push your ideas and like always have to have some kind of feedback and try to advance. And it's not about the money that you will give to your partners that will make it work better. You guys have to be aligned and have to be like obsessed with the success of your project. If you work with someone that don't understand your vision, don't understand the ideas that you want to go for, you can propose him an extreme amount of money. It will not make him work better, and it will not make your project succeed. So I would say I failed into it. It was very hard for me to find partners, and now I realize that it's not about the money. It's more about if you can manage to convince him that you are going the right direction. And some people, they share like maybe the same cultural experience as you, so it will be easy to convince them that your project, is going in the right direction. And some other people, they have different cultural experience, personal experience, so they will not agree with the vision that you are taking. So you don't need to force it and just let it be. Like just try to find someone else that you're aligned with.
Great. Okay, so this is an interesting question I want to get from you. Is like, what is the best investment you've ever made, and what were the returns? So we knew that your first investment was Bitcoin, and it doubled. So, is it still the best investment ever, or like, did you make other investments after?
Yeah, I had the luck, to meet a lot of people working in crypto very early on, working on the blockchain. So together we created communities, and as a pragmatic person, again, we realized that most of the money to be made in crypto when you start with low amount of money is to go into low caps, low valuation assets. So very early on in 2017, I started to buy a lot of different low caps. I played the Masternode POS narrative with Dash, with PVX, with Verge. Don't know if this names tell you something. It was the first financial game to ever exist in crypto. Then there was ICO mania, there was Ethereum, that was gaining a lot of traction. And yeah, I made a lot of investment. As you said, like in 2019, I lost 90% of what I had at my ATH back in 2018, but it was still a lot of money for students. And then I decided to create a second community, and this time we decided to learn from our mistakes. And we were lucky to understand very, very early on the DeFi concept. Back in 2019, a lot of people quit the space because they felt like they were scammed. It was one of the hardest bear markets because there was nothing left. There was a lot of talk about crypto, and everybody said, okay, it was pointless. All the Bitcoin killers, it was faked. Ethereum is a nice product, but there is nothing being built on. All the utility tokens are faked, all the ICO are faked. So everybody was quitting the space. And then DeFi came, and we were like, maybe this will be the sub-industry that will make crypto mainstream. So, it was this concept of it's an eco bubble, and we need like a killer app in order to scale crypto into relevance, into mainstream relevance. And DeFi was this promise. So I was a user of IDEX, of Fork Delta back in the day. It was even before Uniswap. So of course we understand Uniswap very early on. We've seen SushiSwap, but also like we understand Ethereum Land, which was like Aave. Before Aave, they created Flashbot concept. They won some grant in Hackathon, and they were listed on Binance with the Land ticker. So yeah, my biggest investment came from DeFi. I was like DeFi summer whale. And big respect, for the builders of the DeFi world, because we still use their application as of today. A lot of different primitive came to life, and yeah, big respect for them.
Amazing. Okay, I want to know who is someone that you look up to. Maybe it could be a teacher, it could be a parent, it could be somebody famous. But who's somebody you look up to, and what's your favorite quote from him or her?
Yeah, this is a question that it was hard to find an answer on. I don't have anything. Again, I didn't read a lot of books. Sadly, I'm supposed to read some more. I'm more of a visual person. I like to watch videos and stuff. It's more easy for me to understand a concept rather than reading. But I guess one artist that I really like, and I started to learn about it quite recently, is David Bowie. I don't know if you know him, like a tall guy, very skinny,
David Bowie? Never heard of him.
Yeah, no, he's a great artist, and I like his vision of trying to break the code and trying to reinvent himself every time, and trying to point out the constraint of society. He experiments into being androgyne. I'm not from LGBTQ community, but I think he was quite an avant-gardist person. It was more like on a creative expression as a way to to break the limits and try to see what is further. But the thing is that I will say he's a very inspirative character, because he went to America. Spoiler, he didn't like it. He stayed in his house all the time, and he was just observing America and making some music, some inspiration from it. So I guess this is someone that I strive to be, not as a eccentric person, because I am quite introvert person, but more in a way of an intellectual. I think David Bowie is a big intellectual person, and his creative career is very interesting to analyze. And I try to do that when I work on the creative aspect of Borpa, because NFT space or Memecoin space is a cool way to express culture. And most of the time, founders, they are like, "Oh, did you see Bored Ape? It pump, so now we'll make some monkey collection." It's very sad. NFT is a new media of communication. You are free to do whatever you want. You don't have any constraint. You don't have anything to take inspiration from. It's a new media. You can experiment in any way you want. And most of the founders, I feel like, they try so bad to enclose themselves into branding, into a specific direction, into guidelines, into restrictions. And with Borpa, we just try to have fun, and we just try to always surprise our community and just experiment in a lot of creative direction. We don't push the BorpaToken branding, but we push the essence of the Borpa meme.
Awesome. So before you go off and check your Discord, what is the one conventional wisdom that you disagree with? Which I'm super interested, because you must have some conventional wisdom, right? Growing up, or what your parents told you. Is there something that you're like, oh man, like it's not fit for the modern world anymore?
This is a question. I was trying to think about something. I come from a small town in France. I live in the small town in France for now. And in this small town, my parents receive a French education in France. It's very different from America. If you don't have degrees, you don't have a job, basically. In America, it's all about network, contact, grinding culture. You can present yourself, and if you're strong enough, the person will trust you and will make you elevate in the pyramid structure of society. In France, very different. You have to have some studies to be relevant. You have to have some degrees. In France, we don't have this culture of risk. It's very uncommon. Even when you go to the bank, most people, they're very happy with 2%, 3% per year. They don't really try to educate themselves about risk, because they only see downside in France. Maybe this is a wisdom that is well known in America, but if there is any French people or any European people, risk, if you use it as your advantage, can also be a great thing. So it's not just about risk when it comes to financial aspect. It can be risk when it comes to relation. Sadly, I've been quite alone in my life. I didn't have a lot of adventure with girls or stuff like this. I had some past girlfriend, but again, you never know. If you don't take risk, you will never be with someone, so just take risk. It takes a lot of balls, because as a man, you're very afraid to look ridicule. But you have to do, it's better to be ridiculed than being regretful. I would say, for our French listeners, not a lot of them maybe, but embrace risk and try to use it at your advantage.
Great one. That's a great.
I think that question has got a lot of answers for people from France. So we gotta next time we gotta Karen, we gotta figure out another way to pose that question. Next question, number 14. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time founder starting a Web3 company right now?
Yeah. Again, I don't watch a lot of podcasts or a lot of entrepreneurial, videos. Never really done that. But there was one time I watched on YouTube Shorts, like an extract of a video. And the guy said that a startup only live if it's moving. Like it's like a fish. A fish never stop to move. It's always have to move. So you have to understand as a founder that your original idea is shit, probably. 99% chance is shit. Your idea doesn't have any sense. It's not sustainable. It will not manage you to gain some attention. It's probably a bad idea. But if you keep moving and if you keep, having like some kind of adversarial, I don't even know how to say.
Adversity,
Adversity to your idea. Little by little, you will make him transform, and little by little, it will make more sense. Little by little, you will find some people that will also want to support your idea. So very important as a founder, always keep moving, always keep swimming in a way, but not enclose yourself into something. Me, when I work, I like to take a lot of step back into what I'm doing, just to be sure that I'm not going into the wall. Always trying to understand that this is a matter of this cycle. It will probably evolve next cycle. So always try to have some advance into what the market participant want. Because again, maybe a good advice to say is that as a founder, when you create a project, you don't create it for yourself. It depends what you want to do. But I'm talking about Web3 specifically. Don't create an idea because of your self-belief. Create an idea because you have seen a market participant asking for a specific product. A lot of founders, they create something out of ego or out of a personal challenge, but in the end, there is no real demand for their product because, again, they just create an idea just for themselves, in a way.
Actually, that's great.
Those are great answers.
Yeah,
for such a young guy. And Apple will change their thing from "stay foolish" to "stay swimming."
Yeah,
That'll be their new tag. No, I'm just saying what you just said. That's a good line.
Okay.
I like that analogy. Okay, so what is the worst piece of advice you ever received? Is it from another project owner, or is it from your community?
Or your parents?
How
just kidding.
do you handle these advice?
Yeah. Again, me, I'm not easily influenced. I mean, everybody is influenced, but me, I have a very strict idea of where I want to go. So more complicated to, I'm not so much easily manipulable into a specific direction. Worst piece of advice will probably about the organization. We discussed it about the beginning of the call. It's very important to be well organized in crypto. But worst piece of advice that I received is that people that want me to use 10 applications, they want me to wear a watch, to have control over everything of my life, I think being organized is good, but it can also be some kind of an evil, because you will pass all of your day trying to be organized and trying to do something, and you will be some kind of a slave of organization. I don't know if it makes sense. It's a question, again, I don't have a lot of things to say about, but worst piece of advice will be being over organized. I don't know if you guys understand the idea I want to say, but yeah, just get a book, just get a pen, and just write things down and do them. It's that simple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, so then from all this so far, usually Karen and I can guess the next answer, but for you, I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure. So the next question is Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, or Elon Musk. Why? I can kind of guess based on your age, but you tell me what do you think of this question?
No, it's definitely Elon Musk for sure. Yeah,
That's what I thought.
100%.
How about you, Karen? Did you know that?
No, I couldn't guess.
Yeah, Steve Jobs. It's not that I don't like Steve Jobs. I don't really know him. Like, I never studied his life. I watched a movie, take some LSD back in the day. You know, he was living in a forest, and then he had some genius idea, and he was working with Steve Wozniak. You know, like a Polish guy. Yeah, and all together, you know, they created Apple. Very cool guys. But I don't know their life. I don't know the life of Steve Jobs. I know he was a complicated CEO, founder. He had, you know, precise direction he wanted to go, and he has precise idea, and he put a lot of pressures into his team. And it even broke down, if I'm not mistaken, with Steve Wozniak. You know, they separated. Jeff Bezos, again, I don't know his life. I have quite, you know, I am a millennial. I pass a lot of time on internet, so we see a lot of conspiracy theories with Jeff. Jeff Bezos is the CEO of Amazon. Don't know his life, you know. Like, I just know he was a grinder. You know, he was working from small place, and then he became bigger and bigger. But Elon Musk because I know his life better. And one thing that makes me like Elon Musk is that. I don't know if we can discuss politics here, if it's like a taboo subject.
No, this is all no holds barred. This is anything.
Yeah, so not creating a drama, but I feel like, you know, like I know nothing about politics, Republican, Democrat. It's American for me, you know, like it's American politics. I know nothing about it, but I felt like Twitter was not politically neutral when it was not Elon Musk. And I respect that because for me, Elon Musk made a $40 billion donation in order to get his hand into Twitter and make it politically neutral. So this is why I have a preference for Elon Musk, because he has a lot of money, he has a lot of power, but he seemed to have used it in a way to let internet free. Because Twitter for me is like the window of the world, you know, where everybody can talk. And sadly, Twitter was being used, you know, there is some, I'm not saying that out of the blue, you know, there was some proof, there was even some trials about it, you know, of people from CIA, FBI having contact and trying to, you know, when it comes to American election, trying to control the narrative about it. And I feel like Elon Musk made a sacrifice, a $40 billion sacrifice to get back Twitter neutral. Of course, Elon Musk is not politically neutral, you know, he has his own idea, but I feel like he did something very great for humanity, you know, in a way.
Awesome. Cool. All right. After the politics, let's get into the Web3 side. Let's focus on that right now. So what got you into Web3? That was really young. You were still in school. So what happened there?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah. I hope my parents, I mean, my parents don't speak English, so it's okay, I can say it. But, you know, back in the days, you know, like when you're young, you like to smoke weed, you like to, you know, to be a bit adversarial with your parents, with authority. So, of course, you know, like you guys, you know, like I made a lot of, you know, like things that are illegal, a lot of stuff that are illegal. And I like to smoke weed, you know, I like to listen to music, and it opened me new doors and stuff. But, you know, sadly, I live in a small city in south of France, and not a lot of people sell weed, you know. Maybe one guy, maybe two guys. And from my perspective, if you buy weed from the internet, you know, it's a free market. So there is way more concurrence. You know, there is thousands and thousands of sellers. So, of course, the quality is better, and, of course, the price is cheaper. So, this is how I started my journey into crypto, because I fell into the rabbit hole of the darknet. I was passing a lot of time into forums. Funnily enough, the most intelligent people I've met in my life, I met them on the darknet. You know, there is some crazy communities of very smart individual, that only use the darknet and only use like specific forums. But when it comes to me, it was just to buy some weed. So I bought some Bitcoin, and this is how it all started, because again, I'm a very pragmatic person. So I bought some Bitcoin on Bitcoin Talk, which is like a peer-to-peer platform. I sent some money with Postal, and I received the Bitcoin back. It was a bit risky, but it worked. And the moment I decided to purchase some weed, I realized that the price of Bitcoin doubled. So I was buying my weed for free. This was it in my head, and I had no understanding of financial market, offer and demand, like order book and stuff. I didn't understand that. So this is how I got into crypto, and I got fascinated. When you are young, you always want to confront authority, and I think it's an healthy habit to have, because otherwise, the authority can fuck you up. If you don't defend yourself. So when it comes to that, I listen a lot of Andreas Antonopoulos. If I'm not mistaken, he's like a Bitcoin maximalist. I mean, not maximalist, but a Bitcoin evangelist, I would say. And I listened a lot of what he said on YouTube, and this is how I got into crypto. And I got fascinated, by the idea of, having an asset that is not controlled by anyone, but it's just controlled by, by mathematics and by a consensus. So the idea made a lot of sense. But of course, what interested me the most after that was making money, So let's be real about it. It's also what gets me into crypto.
I love this story. I've never had a founder coming on the show and say like, "Hey, I started having some free weed and then I keep investing." So this is a great story.
Does everybody in France buy weed on the dark web?
No, not a lot of people. Only nerds, So I am
Only what?
Nerd.
Oh,
nerd. N-E-R.
Only nerds. Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is fascinating. What else do nerds buy on the dark web in France is what I want to know.
Yeah.
I think there's a whole book here. Is there a book about this? Sounds fascinating.
You can do a lot of things on the darknet. I will not comment very much. Me, I just did, when it comes to weed, when it comes to, when it comes to the drug industry in a way. Again, I was very inspired by, what's his name? The guy that is in jail today, that created Silk Road.
Created what? Created what?
Silk Road, the first.
That's what I was going to say. I read that book about that.
Yeah, so he's a character, he's like a libertarian person.
Yeah.
Crypto came, from cypherpunk and libertarian ideas. And, again, I just fell into a rabbit hole, a very big one. And his idea was very interesting, and met a lot of cool people on the darknet, So I advise every of you, to be curious and not to judge, because it's illegal. I mean, darknet is not illegal. You have a lot of forums you can go and.
Karen, we need a new disclaimer at the beginning. Not only is it not investment advice, we're not advising anyone to go in the darknet either. If that's all up to you, if you want to do any transactions on there, but I get it. That's interesting. I'm going to ask you this next question, but I don't know if it's very important anymore. But what was your first NFT? Where did you learn from it, and do you still own it? Do you have an NFT? Is that after all this, it seems NFT doesn't sound that exciting anymore, but I'm sure a lot of people got into Web3 from NFTs. How about yourself?
Yeah, I was one of the guys that played CryptoKitties back in 2018.
Okay.
Then I played She's Wizard. I don't know if this game, it was the second NFT collection ever. It was, not ever, but the second real NFT collection. It was made by the same guy as CryptoKitties. They have a studio, I don't remember the name. It was a second collection. Cheese Wizard. It was you have a wizard in form of a cheese, and you play rock, scissors. I don't know how to say in English, rock, scissors, paper.
Paper, scissors.
On the blockchain. It failed, but this is what brought me into NFT. So, with the concept of breeding and stuff. And then later on in 2021, when the CryptoPunk narrative, the PFP narrative started to take life, again, I was already big into DeFi, so I had some great contact. Even once working at Ethereum Foundation, I will not give the names, but together we created a lot of scripts, and we were the ones that sniped all the collections, because at the beginning there was a lot of attention into NFTs, and most founders had no idea what the fuck they were doing. Some they were paying like a freelancer on Fiverr to make the art, and there was so much attention and so little projects that create NFT that if you were sure to be able to buy the public sale, you will make a profit by reselling it on OpenSea. This is what we have done. We created bots. We when the mint transaction was on the mempool, our transaction was inside the same block. So we were able to front run the gas war. I don't know if you guys remember about it, because back in the day, it can cost you like 1 Ethereum of fees to mint like 10 NFTs. Because the gas was 3,000, 4,000. So when it comes to us, like we managed to buy like for 60 Gwei or something like this. So this is what brought me into NFT. Playing the hot potato game in a way. So this is it.
Is this the Cheese Wizards here?
Yeah. This is Cheese Wizard. It's the same team from CryptoKitties.
It's Dapper Lab. Yeah, Dapper Labs.
Dapper Labs. Yeah, this is the name. Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
I still hold it. And I never gained some traction, or never never did anything.
Okay,
But it's
great.
got a great name.
The next question, I think there's a lot of people waiting for this one, is what are you working on right now? What can you tell us about the BorpaTokens, and why it, why now, why you?
Yeah, again, I've been in the space for 7 years, most of my day into the space, into crypto. And I had a very cynical realization about a year ago that people that are still here in crypto today, or even the founders that create some project, they all want some money. This is the elephant in the room. Everybody's here in order to try to make a living out of cryptocurrency, the ecosystem. So when you start to embrace the speculative aspect of the space, you start to better design, token economics to attract attention to your product. This is what is doing Psychonaut, with their incubation process. This is what is doing Blast with their gamification system. So a lot of different big projects, big ecosystem are understanding the power of speculation and how speculation can incentive behaviors into their product. Another point that I found very interesting is that through that speculation, the holders, they create cultures, to cop their investment. So what does it mean? It means that, I listen a lot of on Twitter space, a lot of people talk about crypto is all about culture. If you want your project to be successful, you have to create culture. This is true, culture is very important, but culture is not created out of thin air, culture is being created because your token pump. So the elephant in the room is that you have to find a way for your token to pump, and for that you have to find a way to gather attention. So this is why, I had this revelation that everything is about speculation, and speculation can bring culture that support the price of your product. So it made a lot of sense to create an NFT collection, a cultural project. But when I started to work on Borpa, so it was a year ago, there was Pepe that started to gain momentum. There was Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Sonic Obama, 10 Inu. There was Mog, there was Jocoin, SPX, 69,000. A lot of meme coins and the NFT were dying. Why? Simply because the ERC 721 standard is inferior to the ERC 20 standard. ERC 721 is very good in bull market environment because it's very liquid. So whenever someone buy, it create like a flywheel because the price goes up, so a lot more people want to buy. But whenever the market reverse, there is no more liquidity. And it's very hard for people to, they undercut each other and the price goes down. And because the price goes down, the project is slowly dying. So the ERC 721 is not really ideal in a way. This is why, they try to find a new standard with the ERC 404. Don't know if you heard about it, interesting standard. Or they try to create the NFT finance. with different projects that permit borrowing and lending on your NFT, or like fractionalization of your NFT. But all of that is to try to fix a problem that is inherent to the standard. So from my perspective, it made more sense, to create a cultural project using ERC20 standard, that is today the standard that has the most relevancy. So this is what I've done, I embraced the speculative aspect of the space, and I embraced the cultural aspect of the space, and I decided to create like a meme coin that I present as the next generation one, because again, I took the time to analyze the flow of the current meta of the meme coin. When it comes to me, there is two big flaws. First one is bad supply distribution. I don't know if you guys follow deeply the meme coin industry, but the meta is about doing a stealth launch, and a stealth launch is like putting all of your token into an LP, and then you let the free market buy your meme coin. And spoiler alert, there is no free market. There is a founder team. They snipe the token. They're the ones that snipe the token on the first transaction, and they can get 80% of the supply this way, in a very stealth way at a low valuation. And then they dump on the community once the price starts to pick up. So bad supply distribution was a problem. And second problem that I found is that all the meme coin of today are very only documenting crypto culture. I don't know if you guys follow deeply, for example, if you follow deeply, like Nubcoin, if you tell you something. All of these projects are very, very trashy, very provocative, very meme-esque, but and they only documentate crypto culture. They don't have their own universe. They only rely on community to create memes that documentate crypto culture. And as a cultural project, this is cool, but it's also like a downside, because you pigeonhole yourself into like a niche of audience. So Borpa was designed from these two flaws. So from the first one, by supply distribution, we utilize a financial game in order to distribute our supply. So the supply distributed from a game theory perspective, if you play it nice, if you take the most risk into the financial game. And second point is that we differ, from the very low effort, very trashy, very provocative branding from the meme coin. And we have more like an NFT approach. So we create a universe, we create characters, we create, storytelling. And like this, we are sure not to enclose ourselves into, a niche of culture.
Right. So I have a really interesting question before we jump into the next one is like, because culture is so important, like what is your prediction for the future of meme coins? Like, let's say the next year, is it going to be more like culture focused? Like you said, like before, there's more storytelling now. So how do people market it, and how to, see meme coin in the next 12 months?
Yeah, this is a very good question. I'm still very hesitating about it, because if we believe that the Bitcoin will go to $100,000, $200,000 over the next 12 months, I can assure you that the market will not evolve into something more high effort. It will stay very stupid. It will even get even more absurd and even more stupid. We might have like KSI launching his own meme coin. We might have Adin Ross. I don't know if you know the guy. Like he's the biggest kick streamer, if I'm not mistaken. We will have some very, very big people making their own meme coin and gaining crazy traction, raising crazy money. It will be even more irrational as of today. So this is the point, like meme coin will stay stupid if the market, can back this stupidity by the price going up. Another point that I like to believe, and this is the direction that I want to go with Borpa, is that I also see the meme coin industry evolving in the same way as the NFT space. Early days of NFT, everybody rushed, every con artist on earth rushed into creating his own NFT collection. Why? Because so much money wanted to buy NFT, so little project that create NFT. So by launching an NFT collection, you are sure to raise some money. You are sure to, as you said, extract some money out of the ecosystem. But it came to a moment where there was so many, it became so easy to create an NFT collection that you had to apply some effort to create a difference. And this is how Yoga Labs, started to take life. This is how Pudgy Penguin started to take life. This is how Artifact, Azuki started to take life. And it was not that they wanted to put effort, it was like an obligation in order to be relevant. I think today in the meme coin industry, we arrive to the same barrier. Okay, everybody understand meme coin is the main asset of the cycle. Everybody can create very easily a meme coin. There is a lot of tutorials on Twitter, on YouTube. You can even use a pump.fun, which is a platform to create your meme coin in few seconds, in few clicks. But if you want to be relevant and if you want to become a blue chip, and like to not just to make a pump and dump of 2 hours, you have to apply some effort. So this is what I'm doing. This is what Redacted Coin is doing. I'm in contact with them. It's another, not really a meme coin, but they brand themselves as one in order to gain traction. So I do believe we will have some kind of Yoga Labs. We will have some kind of Pudgy Penguin, Azuki, Memeland. Sorry for not saying it earlier. Kind of project from the meme coin industry.
Awesome. All right, let's
What
hit the
does-
next question.
Well, wait, hold on. What does Borpa mean? Where'd you get that word from?
That's
Is it
the
a
meme-
French word?
That's the meme name.
Yeah, that's the name of the meme. Again, I'm criticizing, with Notcoin, but I love crypto culture. It makes me laugh, to see all the different characters, Anthem, CL, Satsdart, Lil Shit, if you have the reference. All of them create a persona and it creates a lore, an active lore about crypto. Very interesting, very fascinating. But one of the most aspect of one of the most used meme in crypto is Pepe, which is like a meme that is used in every subculture, whether it's DeFi, whether it's NFT, whether it's ordinals. They all use Pepe, the meme Pepe.
Yeah.
So Pepe is like really like the most prevalent meme in crypto culture, but people are started to get bored of Pepe, became too mainstream, a bit boomer, Too many projects try to extract some value out of Pepe, by having a branding with Pepe and stuff. So now Pepe is a bit overused and a bit boomer in a way. So this is why it makes sense to
Poor
use
Pepe.
it. Yeah, I like
So
Pepe.
Pepe is retired. Borpa is in. That's
This
what's
is
going
it.
down.
This is the
So
idea,
I'm interested in have you ever tracked down the original creator of Borpa, which is
Yeah.
on Twitch? And is this person aware of this whole project?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Again, we did not create at Borpa. It was created in 2020 by a Twitch streamer, as you said, from his community. I have him because Borpa is not the first project that built on top of the Borpa meme. There was a project, NFT project called Museum of Modern Borpa that created NFT collections with Picasso style, with Andy Warhol style, with Salvador Dali style. Very good artist, Pipa, her name. I am in contact with her. And these people, they contacted the creator of Borpa, and he's in my Discord. He doesn't seem really hyped about BorpaToken. He was just happy that we... Yeah, it's difficult for him, because of course we are making money on top of his meme. So I guess, it's difficult for him to say some things about it because, we monetize his work. But again, we are not just leveraging Borpa, we are creating a dual team. And this is directly from the meme culture, with the IQ curve bell, with the normal repartition of the IQ. A meme that is very prevalent in crypto is the left side and right side. So we are not trying to make an IP on the Borpa meme. We are trying to create a story on top of the Borpa character, and the story is Cro-Magnon and futuristic.
Yeah, you continue the story and basically rewrite the life of this character, which is great.
Yeah, and this is it. One last thing I can say about it is that when you look at crypto culture, you realize that there are eco bubbles. There is the NFT culture, there is the ordinal culture, there is the DeFi culture. They're all separated. One thing they use in common is the Pepe meme, and second thing they all use in common is the IQ curve bell meme. with the left side and right side, and this is why we decided to use that also, because it's a meme that is very recognizable from crypto and very prevalent in crypto culture. So it makes sense to use it on top of the Borpa character.
Great.
That's interesting. There's a guy, his name is Matt Furry. In 2005, he created a comic book called Boys Club. And that is the first appearance of Pepe the Frog. And if you see, there's a documentary out about the meme, the guy, and crypto people only know it from crypto stuff, but it's been used in political agendas around the world. Even Hong Kong, we used it here. That character. So it's super fascinating. But that poor guy, Matt, he only sells comic books. That's all he sees out of it. And he's trying to get it back because I don't think he really cares about the crypto people, but he's like some people like Nazis and stuff uses images as well, and which is something he doesn't want to have happen. So it's quite interesting that you want to use it. That's good, because I think that poor guy, that poor frog, has got to go to take a rest. But see what happens with Borpa and what happens in his lifestyle and his next thing. It's quite interesting, that meme culture about those characters.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, here we go. Last question. And since you've been in the industry for 7 years, since you were a teenager to now, you've seen the ICO, you've seen the NFT, and now you're seeing the Memecoin. So the final question for you now is, what is the one misconception that most people think about Web3 that is wrong, that you would like to change? This is the most important question.
There is no real misconception, a lot of, when you talk to someone about crypto, they say it's all speculation. Yes, it's all speculation. It's true, It's not a misconception, in my opinion. A lot of founders, they say, no, there is a lot of technical stuff happening. It's a fascinating space. It is a fascinating space, but in the end, it's all about speculation. So I don't think it will change, because market participants in crypto use crypto for speculation, so it will not really change. Maybe the misconception that exists is that it's a very risky space. You invest in it and you will lose all of your money. You will be scammed and stuff. This is a misconception. There is a lot of builders. There is a lot of passionate people. There is a lot of tight communities. You guys are representing the Memeland one, and in Memeland there is a lot of very active people that help each other and support each other into this journey. When it comes to my experience, I have some French communities that help each other and stuff. So I would say the biggest misconception will be about the very dangerous nature of crypto. That if you go into it, you will lose everything. I think we need more qualitative founders that put effort into their project. This will be the one thing I would like to change, because again, space is all about money, but it's even worse than that, because founders, they try to extract maximum maximum money while applying minimal effort. They are experts at doing that. Congratulations to them. But this will be the one thing I would like to change. There is money, okay, we can embrace the speculation aspect, but it doesn't mean that you are supposed to put minimal effort into your product or into your strategy. This will be the one thing I would like to change. And the misconception is probably about the risk of this industry, If you're someone that goes into communities and learn from communities, you should be fine, I survived, you guys survived. It's okay,
Awesome. Well, awesome. Psychonaut, thank you very much for your time today.
Yep. If you're coming to Asia, if you're coming to Hong Kong, please let us know. Even Singapore, we should have a lot of events in Asia this coming up couple months. So if you're around, please let us know. And don't forget to follow us at GM Show Official, Memeland, Stakeland, and our co-host. We'll see you again next week.
Okay. Thank you, guys.